Chosen one, have you ever felt like you were praying, believing, waiting, yet nothing seemed to shift? You stayed faithful when it was hard. You trusted when answers were quiet. You kept hoping even when disappointment tried to settle in your heart. And now something inside you senses a change you can't fully explain. That stirring you feel is not random. It is the signal that God is actively moving in your life right now. What you have been waiting for is not far away. It has entered motion. Before we go deeper, take a second to open your heart to what God is speaking today. If this message connects with your spirit, stay with me, engage with it, and share it with someone who needs encouragement. Together, we grow stronger in faith. Many people believe God only works in slow seasons, but throughout faith history, some of the greatest shifts happened suddenly. Long periods of preparation were followed by swift breakthroughs. What felt like years of waiting suddenly turned into moments of change. The waiting was never wasted. It was shaping endurance, building trust, and strengthening character so the blessing would not overwhelm the person receiving it. If you're watching this and you've felt pressure increasing lately, it's not because you are failing, it's because growth is taking place. Often, when God is about to elevate someone, the resistance becomes louder, doubt tries harder, distractions multiply, fatigue grows heavier. But this does not signal defeat, it signals transition. God does not ignore his children's cries. He hears every prayer spoken in faith, every tear shed in silence, every moment you chose obedience when it would have been easier to quit. He has been working behind the scenes of your life, aligning opportunities, strengthening your spirit, and preparing you for what is about to unfold. Some of you thought the delay meant God changed his mind, but what he was really doing was protecting you from receiving something before you were ready to carry it. Growth always comes before expansion. Strength always comes before increase. Wisdom always comes before influence. The reason this season feels different is because it is different. You are no longer just hoping for change, you are stepping into alignment with it. God is shifting your understanding, your confidence, and your capacity. You are not the same person who started praying for this breakthrough. You are stronger now, more aware, more grounded in faith. Spiritual battles tend to rise when a breakthrough is near. This is why fear whispers louder when progress is close. This is why discouragement shows up when you are about to level up. But you must understand this clearly. Pressure does not cancel promise, it confirms movement. There have been times in history when God moved so quickly that people barely had time to process the change before they were standing in victory. What seemed impossible one day became reality the next. The same God who moved then is still moving now. If you have felt drawn to prayer more lately, that is not coincidence. If you felt a stronger pull towards spiritual growth, that is not random. If old habits no longer satisfy you, that is not loss, it is transformation. God is speaking to you in this season, guiding you to step higher, trust deeper, and walk bolder. He is not preparing you for struggle, he is preparing you for fulfillment. Ask yourself in the comments, what have you been believing God for lately? Your testimony could encourage someone else who is still waiting. What is happening now is not just about receiving blessings, it is about becoming the person who can steward them wisely. God's gifts are always connected to responsibility. When he elevates you, he also equips you. You may notice doors opening that once stayed closed, conversations shifting in your favor, opportunities appearing unexpectedly, peace settling where anxiety once ruled. These are early signs of movement. Faith is not just believing something will happen, faith is responding as if God is already working. That means showing gratitude before the breakthrough fully manifests. That means taking steps forward even when the path is still forming. When you praise in advance, you activate trust. When you act in obedience, you activate growth. When you stay consistent, you activate momentum. If this message is speaking to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who has been praying for a sign of hope. And make sure you stay connected to the Chosen Star for more faith-building encouragement. The season you are entering will require confidence, not fear, trust, not hesitation, obedience, not delay. God is not asking you to be perfect, he is asking you to be willing. Right now, something is shifting in the spiritual realm on your behalf. What you thought was taking too long is aligning perfectly with divine timing, and this is only the beginning. As God begins to move in a new way, it often reveals areas of growth that were quietly developing during the waiting season. You may notice that situations which once triggered fear no longer control your emotions the same way. Challenges that once overwhelmed you now feel manageable. This is not because life suddenly became easier, but because your faith has become stronger. God was shaping your inner world while you were focused on external change. Many chosen ones misunderstand this phase. They assume strength should feel dramatic, but most of the time it feels steady. It feels like peace replacing panic. It feels like patience replacing frustration. It feels like confidence rising where insecurity once lived. This is how spiritual maturity forms. It is not loud, but it is powerful. Opposition often increases when growth becomes visible. You may experience misunderstandings from people who once supported you. You may feel tested in areas you thought you had already overcome. Old fears may attempt to resurface. This is not regression, it is resistance recognizing that its influence is weakening. When God prepares to lift someone higher, He allows situations that refine trust. These moments teach discernment, resilience, and reliance on Him rather than circumstances. Every challenge you are facing now is strengthening muscles of faith you will soon rely on. Some of you are in the middle of this refinement right now. You've been praying for clarity, and instead you received pressure. You've been asking for direction, and instead you faced obstacles. But understand this clearly. Growth rarely comes without stretching. What feels uncomfortable is often what builds capacity. There are countless examples of people in faith history who waded through hardship before stepping into fulfillment. They faced discouragement, isolation, and uncertainty. Yet those seasons did not disqualify them, they prepared them. God is doing the same with you. He is teaching you to trust even when you don't see immediate results. He is teaching you to remain faithful when emotions fluctuate. He is teaching you to stand strong when opinions around you change. Spiritual warfare is not always dramatic. Often it shows up as subtle doubt, lingering fear, or exhaustion that whispers that giving up would be easier. But every time you choose faith over fear, you gain spiritual ground. Every time you pray instead of panic, you grow stronger. Every time you trust instead of retreat, you move closer to breakthrough. This is why consistency matters more than intensity. A life of steady faith produces lasting transformation. One prayer at a time, one act of obedience at a time, one moment of trust at a time. If you've felt spiritually stretched lately, that is not a sign of weakness, it is evidence of preparation. God stretches what He plans to expand. You are becoming more aware of your purpose, more sensitive to spiritual direction, more grounded in truth. These shifts are not random, they are alignment. And alignment always comes before acceleration. This is also the season where God teaches discernment about relationships. Some people may naturally drift away, others may become stronger supports. This does not mean anyone is bad, it simply means your path is narrowing toward purpose. Growth often brings separation from environments that no longer match your direction. Do not fear this change. God removes what cannot go where He is taking you. You may feel a deeper desire to spend time in prayer, reflection, or worship. That pull is your spirit responding to growth. God draws His children closer when He is preparing them for something new. This is also a time to release old disappointments. Holding on to past frustrations can limit future blessings. Forgiveness clears space for peace. Letting go restores joy. Trust opens doors. Ask yourself gently, what have I been holding on to that God is asking me to release? It could be fear, regret, anger, or doubt. Releasing does not mean forgetting. It means trusting God to heal what hurt.
As you walk through this refining season, remind yourself daily that God is not distant. He is actively guiding you. Even when you cannot see the full picture, He already sees the outcome, and the outcome is good. If this message speaks to your heart, take a moment to reflect in the comments. What changes have you noticed in yourself lately? Your growth could encourage someone who feels stuck. Stay connected. What comes next is about stepping fully into the movement God has already begun.
Now that growth has taken place within you, it is time to walk boldly in what God is unfolding. Faith is no longer something you are simply holding on to. It is something you are living out daily. When understanding deepens and trust strengthens, action becomes natural rather than forced. You move forward not because everything is clear, but because God has made your spirit confident. This is where many breakthroughs are activated, not when everything feels perfect, but when obedience meets faith. Small steps matter. Calling that opportunity, applying for that position, starting that project, reaching out for reconciliation, praying with renewed expectation. These simple acts, when guided by God, produce powerful change. Your words now carry greater weight. Speak life over your future. Speak peace over your family. Speak courage over your dreams. What you declare consistently shapes what you experience. Faith-filled words strengthen your mindset and align your heart with God's promises. Praise also becomes a powerful tool in this season. Gratitude before visible results builds trust and invites peace. When you choose joy even while waiting, you show confidence in God's faithfulness. Worship shifts focus away from worry and centers your heart on hope. Another important step is staying spiritually disciplined. Regular prayer, reflection, and connection with God will keep you grounded as blessings begin to flow. Growth must be maintained just as much as it is gained. The closer you remain to God, the clearer your direction becomes. You may notice that confidence continues to rise. Fear no longer controls your decisions. You become more willing to step out of your comfort zone. This courage is not self-generated. It comes from knowing God is walking with you. Remember that challenges may still arise, but they will no longer shake your foundation the way they once did. You are stronger now, wiser now, more rooted in faith. What once discouraged you will now develop you. This season is about building a life that reflects trust in God's guidance. Your dreams are not random ideas, they are planted in your heart for a reason. When you act on them with faith and discipline, you partner with God in bringing them to life. Do not despise small beginnings. Every great testimony starts with simple obedience. Every breakthrough begins with a step of faith. Every transformation grows from daily trust. If you've been waiting for a sign to move forward, this message is that encouragement. God is working now. He is guiding now. He is strengthening now. And He is opening doors you once thought were impossible. Stay connected to this community of faith. Share what God is doing in your life. Encourage others who are still in their waiting season. We grow stronger together. If this message uplifted you, make sure to support the channel by engaging, sharing, and staying connected for more encouragement. Your participation helps spread hope to those who need it most. As you move forward, carry this truth with you. You are not forgotten, delayed, or overlooked. You are being prepared, aligned, and positioned for growth. God's timing is active in your life right now. The prayers you whispered, the tears you cried, and the faith you held on to have not been wasted. They have all been shaping the future you are stepping into. Walk confidently, trust deeply, stay faithful. What God is doing in your life is only beginning to unfold, and it is filled with purpose, peace, and fulfillment.